On September 6, 11:35 a.m., Mr. William Li, CEO of NIO, will be speaking at the IAA Munich Mobility Conference, introducing to the world the advantages of battery swap. And right after that, Mr. Ola Kalinius, CEO and chairman of Mercedes, will speak right after launching their new concept car, which has been teased and confirmed that it will debut at this conference. So mark your calendars, guys. September 6th. Now, all this is public information on the IAA website. I'll leave the links down below so you can go check it out yourself. But just know, hey, it came from here first. So a little bit more about the concept car that Mercedes is going to announce. I want you guys to keep in mind that it is a concept car. And I quote, this car is supposed to provide an insight for the future of Mercedes in the entry-level segment. You're not going to see these cars on the road that can do battery swap right away. No. Like the CEO of NIO said back in early June when 1,500 swap stations were deployed, he talked about a brand that they were in talks of to license out battery swap. He didn't name the brand, but he said to keep in mind that R&D and production will still take some time. And this, of course, lines up perfectly with this concept car announcement, meaning, guys, we're not going to get Mercedes being able to do battery swap until a while later. So keep that in mind. I also want to talk about why NIO didn't announce it yet, because for this event, and also they want to talk about it after earnings, but let's talk about why it's going to happen. The NIO owner of 23 NIOs, who's close to the CEO since 2018, said 90% sure it's going to happen. A subscriber in Germany told me that when he went to a NIO test drive event, the sales rep told him directly that Mercedes is going to work with NIO. He didn't even inquire about this. He was told straight up, like, boom, we're going to work with Mercedes. What? Bro. So thank you so much to that subscriber and you guys as well. And to all those naysayers out there, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have the right information. But let's talk about why they didn't announce this deal yet. Obviously, NDA is part of it, non-disclosure agreement, but also because of NIO's earnings, which I believe NIO's earnings are going to be really, really bad. NIO knows about this, and I think NIO would rather have the earnings come before the good news rather than good news come before the earnings. That way, the focus is more on the Mercedes deal rather than earnings. And hopefully people forget about earnings. You see, last year they had Q2 earnings report on September 7th. The IAA event is from September 5th to September 10th. If they had earnings on that date, September 7th of 2023, then the bad earnings will be the fresh news, whereas the Mercedes deal would be taken out of the spotlight. Here in China, a lot of content creators getting whispers from all over the place. Everybody is saying that Mercedes is partnering with NIO. One of the key things that NIO CEO is probably going to talk about at the IAA conference is the 9 big advantages to battery swap, which most people do not know. They think it's only about convenience, about fast and time-wise. People think that supercharging is going to overtake battery swap and make battery swap irrelevant. And this is partially why Mercedes had to go observe with the CEO at the battery swap stations so that the CEO can lay out all these different advantages, not only time-wise, automation. In the future, if you have autonomous taxis, even with Tesla, it might be autonomous on the road, but when it needs to charge, you still need somebody to plug it in. With NIOs, it just has to drive into the swap station. It's all automatic. NIOs can already do automatic swapping. It is already ahead of Tesla in that aspect. Replenishing the charge in an autonomous EV, NIO is way ahead of Tesla. Number 3, upgradability. Whenever Tesla has a battery day, it's got nothing to do with you. You already own a Tesla. It got nothing to do with you. But when NIO has a battery day and it comes out with new battery tech, every single NIO can swap into that newer battery, get that extra range. Most beautiful aspect about it right now here in China is you can rent a bigger capacity battery for 1 day with only $8. $8. You've killed Tesla with $8. Can you imagine that? You can't get to where you want to go, use $8, and then you can double your range. Boom. Tesla can't give you that. Nobody else can give you that. Only NIO can give you that. And then you have the vast number of battery swap stations. And the most beautiful part about it is with this upgrade rental, you don't have to return the battery to where you got the battery from. For example, you're driving from Paris to Berlin. Your battery doesn't have enough range to get you there. You upgrade. One day, higher capacity battery. You drive there, and then you go to a swap station in Berlin and give the battery back to NIO and then go back to your standard range battery. That is the beauty of battery swap right there. After that, the fact that the car and the battery can be split apart, meaning you just buy the car, you don't buy the battery, lowering the cost of purchase, making your car more accessible and cheaper for everyone. You get more market share and tap into the people with lower budgets as well. And then each battery swap is also a health check for the battery to make sure that there aren't any problems, and you're safe to know that the battery swapped onto your car has been health checked and there won't be any sort of mishap with the battery, short circuit or battery explosion. You got the ease of mind. And because the batteries are in the battery swap station, they can be charged at a much slower pace to extend the lifespan of the battery, because fast charging really damages the battery. And they can also charge the batteries when electricity prices are low. That means during peak hours, when you go to a battery swap, the battery swap might actually be cheaper than charging, which is absolutely the case here in China. And battery swap also makes the batteries easier to recycle. Instead of recalling the car in to get them to detach the battery, which will be a very long, intensive process, just swap the battery out. And then once the car is out of the station, battery that needs to be recycled can just be popped up and towed away and recycled. Super, super easy and better for the environment. And most important of all, stability to the grid. The swap stations will act as an electricity storage unit, and if the grid is in dire need, NIO can quickly dispatch electricity to the grid in as little as 10 seconds. That's what they talked about on NIO Power Day, which a lot of other people skipped, which makes me deeply disappointed. So all of this combined is also why NIO's CEO had to personally and show Mercedes what battery swap is all about. It's not just simply quick and fast. No. It's so much more. In fact, the other benefits are much more important than benefit number one. And after having their minds blown by this, it's a no-brainer. Of course, you want an EV that can swap and also charge at the same time. And it's a very smart move for Mercedes to partner up with NIO. Check out any one of these awesome videos. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.